for his place. We know Bruno's a very competitive nature and doesn't like to miss a minute of games.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see that one, watch that one pan out over the next few weeks as well.
So what are you thinking? NWS Spirit, Christie Park. It's a wind tunnel there tonight against Melbourne Victory. What are they going to have to do to potentially at least make it a fight, make it a dogfight on their own terms?
The best opportunity they have tonight is the weather conditions and the pitch, because I think on paper Victory have everything in their arsenal.
Yeah, I think Victory's going to be too good tonight. Once they get used to that pitch, I think they'll turn it on.
We've got Moreton City, Excelsior as well against Perth Glory. Any chance of a cup set there?
There'll be loads of goals. They are averaging 5 goals a game.
Good.
Perth love to score and concede. So, oh, look at Archie. Look, he loves it. He's king of the kids, isn't he? Hey?
Taking
the mayor of everywhere.
He's taking a scarf off now as well.
This, of course, is our third clash, which will keep you across. Oakley Cannons v Heidelberg United. This taking place, the king v the king of the kids at the home of the Matildas. 3 clashes heading away from the states across New South Wales, Victoria and Brisbane tonight. Kick-off to NWS Spirit and Melbourne Victory heading away next.
Australia Cup champions. Sydney FC, they'll win the cup.
Good evening from a windy Christie Park as Melbourne Victory travel to the northwestern suburbs of Sydney to put their near-perfect record against non-A-League teams in the Cup on the line. 10 wins, just the one loss, and that was all the way back in 2021. Tonight's opponent is Northwest Sydney Spirit, the spiritual successor of the old Northern Spirit. Both teams about to make their way down the tunnel and go to battle. Melbourne Victory hoping to advance to the quarterfinals tonight. Teo Pellizzeri with you for this one alongside Eric Partaloo, former Socceroo, and a bit of a homecoming of sorts for you, Eric, as you come back to this ground which you called home during your junior days.
Yeah, good evening, Teo. Yeah, certainly brings back some memories being here, particularly at Christie Park, and haven't been here since the artificial pitch has been put in, but let me tell you, it used to be the coldest place on earth. Well, tonight, it's the windiest place on earth.
It may not be apparent in the pictures that you are seeing at the moment, but it is very blowy. We will wait and see exactly how much that affects the game. Similarly, the fact that tonight is being played on an artificial pitch, something of a rarity for the Victory, either in their competitive games or even in their pre-season friendlies. Spirit FC there in the tunnel, and you can see the captain Grant Cornwell is going to be bringing his young family. Look at that, they're getting into the swing of things, those young fans. They've got banners made, they've got the first names of all the players both in the starting 11 and on the bench lined up across the fence, and they are going to provide part of the atmosphere. A bumper crowd, and it must be said, it's at least 4 if not 5 times the size of the crowd that was here for Spirit's win in the round of 32 against the Glenorchy Knights, the only Tasmanian team in the competition, and it has created quite an atmosphere for the occasion tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be brilliant to see all the young faces as well. Lots of young kids here watching, and going to be watching some quality players on display tonight, not just from Melbourne Victory, but also from NWS Spirits.
So here come the two teams. Victory in their white away kit for this one. And new gaffer Patrick Kisnorbo, much like the away trip to the Lambton Jaffers in the round of 32, has not taken any risks and has really put out what he considers to be his strongest available 11, and a very deep bench as well for this one. So let's get into those teams. Spirit first, they finished 10th in New South Wales NPL, a bit of an even spread of goal scorers too, but Richie Darko did score against Glenorchy in the round of 32, and Jacob Chidiac, no relation to Victory and Matilda Alex, is a player to watch as a creator wearing that number 17 shirt. David Perkovic, one of the high-rated young stars of the coaching scene rising through New South Wales. And Melbourne Victory, as you can see, names like Mashash, Arzani, also Teague and Hamill at the back. And you can expect them to have a very experienced and senior core. Jack Duncan in goal, and Daniel Graskowski, the youngster, on the bench, along with Jordan Hoey, his twin brother Jesse. They were both important parts of a Melbourne Victory NPL team that recently won promotion to the top division of NPL Victoria. So the Victory Academy coming off a fantastic winter, and some of their youngsters getting rewarded with first team minutes as a result. Tonight's officiating crew, Daniel Cook, the South Australian, will have the whistle. A handful of A-League centres as his experience, and he is starting to really grow into one of the more regular referees we can expect to see in the A-League this coming season. Melbourne Victory breaking out of their huddle and doing one last shuttle run to the sideline before players take up their position. Of course, the winner of tonight's match, if it's Victory, they will be hoping to either host Perth Glory or they'd be away at Moreton Bay Excelsior. And if Spirit was to get through, then Moreton Bay would have the upper hand in hosting rights if they beat Perth. Otherwise, it'll be the Perth Glory back here at Christie Park. There is Richie Darko, and there are the fans. It's, yeah, bring a headband sort of weather. Make sure that anything loose is tied down. And so the Spirit 10 wins, 4 draws, 16 losses in NPL New South Wales. They finished lower mid-table, weren't in any real danger of relegation through the season, and they did knock off some of the real luminaries of New South Wales football, including former NSL team Sydney Olympic and former NSL team Sydney United, to get to this point of the competition. So they've taken down some of the big ones, and now they take on one of the biggest in the nation, two-time champion of this competition, Melbourne Victory. Although their recent cup form has not been great, ever since lifting the trophy in 2021, out in the round of 32 to Western United the year after, out in the preliminary round on penalties to Newcastle Jets in 2023. So they didn't even make it to the round of 32 last season. But after seeing off the Lambton Jaffers 4-1 in the round of 32, they will be hoping to make it 11 wins and just the one loss against non-A-League teams in this competition tonight. And it's Spirit in their yellow and black to kick off, attacking the left of your screens towards the new club rooms here at Christie Park in the first half. All in readiness then. This would perhaps be on the cup setometer the biggest and the most surprising if it happens. But you've got to play the games. They don't play them on paper. And the wind has its say at kickoff, blowing the ball off the halfway line, perhaps fitting, perhaps foreboding for what's about to come. We're underway at Christie Park. And Eric Partaloo, these first handful of minutes for Spirit are going to be so important not to concede an early goal and to get a foothold in the contest.
Yeah, they want to go forward quickly. And I think when you see a lot of the A-League teams, how they've been performing against NPL sides in the Australia Cup, it's about trying to manage the game and then find the right moments to go through and penetrate and create chances. But for Spirit, they have to start well. They've got to start well, and they have here.
Ball was nearly stolen away by Michael Conestabbo, who we heard from pre-game, scored against Glenorchy in the round of 32. And now Richie Darko, he's trapped offside. So the coin toss didn't go Spirit's way. They normally like to attack towards their club rooms and the left of screen in the second half, but I think so many of these players are going to have the adrenaline pumping. They're not going to really care which way they're running at the moment. The excitement of getting to take on a team of this magnitude, especially for a side that is not chock full of ex-A-League players or ex-A-League Academy juniors. So for many of them, this is their first exposure and their first big test, other than maybe the occasional pre-season friendly that they might have played against a Sydney FC or a Macarthur or a Wanderers.
Well, let's head to Perry Park in Brisbane now, because there's been a goal for Perth Glory.
In fact, it was Taras Gamilka who was on corner duties. Take two. Swung to a dangerous area, and the Glory are on the board early. Zach Lizalaiski, the youngster.
So Perth Glory in the lead against Moreton City Excelsior.
Well, if there's one thing we know about David Perkovich as a manager, it's that he's very malleable. This is a coach who, as we see the foul again, won the Waratah Cup as a second division club the season that Spirit were getting promoted into the top flight. So if anyone's going to have done the homework and have a plan to defend and counter, it will be Perko, as he's known. Here's a chance now for Sugita, the Japanese national. Look at the effect of the wind on the net. It is billowing and blowing a gale as Sugita tries to cross it in, and there's no progress there as it's blocked away.
Well, let me tell you, I'm sure that the Spirit players are used to all sorts of conditions here at Christie Park, and it's going to suit them trying to play with this wind blowing from the right to the left of the stadium here. And they're doing well to keep possession. Can they go and trouble the goalkeeper from this sort of area now?
Darko left the ball with Conestabbo. Neat work in possession, and that is an early corner. They don't have the tallest team, it must be said, Spirit, but set pieces is one avenue to goal that no doubt they will have prepared, and Victory early in their preparations for the new A-League campaign. We'll see what Patrick Kisnorbo can do. Marshalling a set-piece defence. Here comes the corner, right into the hot spot, and Victory had two players almost in each other's way. A lack of communication there.
Well, the wind's going to play its part, isn't it? And I'm surprised that Jared Lum is able to get the ball into the box. That's the first thing. But the second thing is just to try and keep it away from the tall timber from Melbourne Victory.
So consecutive corners then. This one high to the far post. And the header is parried away. Duncan makes the save. Shouts for a penalty, foul given the other way instead. And that was nearly the early goal that Spirit so would have craved. And what a moment that would have been for the under-20s regular Kaya Williams.
Well, what a ball to the far post. And it just hung up and then dipped down. And it was a great little save there from Duncan just to get across and identify that was going to creep into that corner. And they get away with it.
Williams only really in the starters tonight because one of the higher rated youngsters of the Spirit team, Kyle Shaw, is out with an injury, and he nearly introduced himself to the nation right there. Restart from this free kick. We've got 2 balls on the pitch at the moment, so they will have to clean that up. Nishan Velupillay off screen, as you see it, is currently booting the ball out of play, so we're back live at the feet of Arzani. Now Teague. Arzani showed a little bit too much of the ball to his opponent, and it was one away. Spirit up for the battle in these early exchanges. Cornwell out to right back, and the player that had that chance a moment ago, Kaya Williams. Same spelling as Matilda star Kaya Simon. It's just one of those names that is appearing more and more in football. As the back pass here finds its way to Duncan. An early test for him already. Velupillay knocked off the ball. Sugita. Everything a little bit stationary at the moment, but Spirit will happily take a throw in.
Just trying to work themselves into the game here, NWS Spirit, and they're looking good down this left-hand side, and probably because the wind's blowing them in that direction. And Darko coming all the way across to try and hold things up, but Brendan Hamill doing a good job there, marshalling that defensive line tonight.
Jared Lum, he's taken the corners, now he's taking the throws, but that one only picks out Valadon. Does the work with both the head and the boots. And Roderick Miranda is able to launch a counter-attack, albeit a short-lived one. Chidiac down the line. And then hurried on was Sugita. We've seen him roam from one wing to the other, but I think he's going to quickly go back to his position over on the left side rather than stay over on the right. See how densely packed in the fans are within earshot of both benches. Patrick Isnorbo earnestly giving instruction as Spirit get ready to take this set piece. Fantastic to see the first names of every member of the team on those little card banners along the fence.
Yeah, it's brilliant, and they'll need that 12th man tonight to try and get past one of the best teams in the country in Melbourne Victory, and it's a big challenge for them too to come here and to try and navigate the conditions first of all, and something that they're probably not used to playing on, Taylor, is this artificial surface, and it's probably will suit Patrick Kisnorma the way he would like to play, but it's still difficult to get on that pitch.
As a ex-player yourself, how big a gear change is it when you're so used to manicured grass and nice surfaces, and then out of nowhere or once in a blue moon you have to adjust and play on synthetic? Because for players who train or play on it week in, week out, it's probably normal, but what about for the pros coming back to do it?
I think the only problem you have is with the explosive players trying to turn and change direction and go with speed, and it's that wear and tear on the unnatural surface. But, you know, your back four and your defensive sort of players don't have that problem. It's the guys going forward, and they're going to have to try and break this back line down tonight from Spirit, and you can only do that with speed in behind. So that's why they've gone that back five.
Let's head back to Perry Perth now. It's been a very strong start for Perth Glory.
Free kick for the Glory. Left for O'Neill, and not at home once again. All alone was Jacob Muir.
Jacob Muir on the score sheet, 2-0 lead.
The night here last night, acclimatising for today's game. They didn't fly up on game day as many of the NPL level teams are prone to doing in this competition. Here's Valadon. Victory just looking for a gap. Spirit very organised in defence. Vergos made a run but goes ignored as the ball moves around the back line. Velupale. Yet to see him run at the defence. Now Spirit start to get interested in hunting the ball, and maybe that will pull a few players out of position, but a pass like that is a gift onto the head of Cornwell. And now it is just booted away by Chidiac. It looped out before he did.
I think it might have been a handball there, just got caught in the wind, and that's going to be a big thing for the players tonight to watch out for, just judging the ball when it goes into the air. And we know what Melbourne Victory can do from the set pieces with their big boys, and they all get up now. The first real test for Spirit.
Get to see Chris Marks need to lay gloves on the ball, so this is the first big moment as a defensive stand for Spirit in the game. Arzani over the free kick. And it's all Spirit at the fall. Second ball is there to be won. Valadon loops it back in. Clears Vergos over his head. Conestabo, a shallow clearance at the edge of the box. Referee has a good hard look and didn't take any interest as Arzani went to ground. And free kick given, going the way of Spirit.
Yeah, it's going to take some time for Vergos just to get himself into the game. It's a great little piece of skill there from Arzani. I'm surprised the referee didn't blow for a free kick, and then it was all about trying to get up and react, and he gave away a foul, unfortunately, the number 9.
Restart ball volunteered straight back to Victory. Shouts for handball, and they go unheeded this time. Marks playing it out to right back. Long ball, Darko can go and chase, trying to break between the lines, but Roderick Miranda has him outpointed on this occasion. And eventually the ball works its way over the line for a Spirit throw. 10 minutes gone. It's been a busy 10 minutes, or maybe that's just because we're clinging on to all the broadcast gear up here at the scaffold as the wind howls through.
Yeah, it's good to see the players haven't taken a backward step, though. It hasn't affected them the way that they want to play, the way they want to keep possession of the football. And you can see once the ball goes in the air, it's a complete mess.
Long throw is going to clear the head of Darko, and now bouncing back out from whence it came for another throw. Hello, this is us. Eric, give us a wave in the commentary box. It's a great setup here at Christie Park. And it must be said, even though it's windy, it is not the Arctic Circle tonight. It's not actually as cold as it normally is when you come out here for a game. Long throw again. And rising well in the air was Hamill. Teague having to backtrack quickly. Victory able to squeeze it to Geria, and now things calm down at the feet of Hamill and Teague again.
Well, it's game on up at Perry Park. Let's take a look.
Neatly done. Chance perhaps here for Moreton City. Walters stays onside. Marquez Walters! Moreton City Excelsior hit back. And the Shark Fins are out once again at Perry Park.
Marquez Walters with the Sharky, 2-1.
Victory trying to up the tempo. Even if there is the odd missed pass or touch, they're just trying to use their speed here to hurry Spirit. Vishash, can he slay them through? He can't. Body check for his trouble. Lum squeezes it back to Marks, and that is a clearance under pressure from the keeper. You see the wind caused it to drop straight down out of the sky. Victory not done attacking just yet. Contact on Vergos, sold it for all it was worth, and the referee's buying a free kick in shooting range.
There was a few nibbles there on a few Victory players, and the NWS Spirit players were stepping in. They were trying to get something. They were trying to get a piece of it and trying to break forward quickly. It's a hefty challenge there from Nicholas. Maybe a little bit of a stud, just raised and all the way down the back of Vergos' leg, and a cheeky little nutmeg from Mashash. And it's a great position now from the set piece for Melbourne Victory.
No VAR at this level, so the referee's decision is final. Ryan Teague appears to have pulled rank, and he stands solo. That's a great look at 4 in the wall. Chris Marks has left him the top right corner if he's good enough. Teague. And the goalkeeper positioned himself perfectly to collapse onto the ball.
Beautiful save, and great to just get it in his hands. Marks just brought it set so well down in a windy day, through bodies and straight in the breadbasket.
Burgos has dusted himself off after the challenge a moment ago. Mishash. Arzani. And Arzani with his hands full against Conestabro. Now he's legged and now he's fouled. And must be said, the replay for the previous foul was quite incriminating, Eric. So as much as Arzani may have already gone to ground once without drawing a free kick, I think you've got to give him the benefit of the doubt that he is getting fouled here.
Well, he does draw attention. He's got great feet and he knows exactly where the players are, great awareness. So there's a lot of aggression from the Spirit players, and they're going to have to taper that a little bit, because players like Arzani know exactly what they're doing, and in dangerous areas that will come back to haunt them.
15 minutes gone, still scoreless, but Victory starting to take territorial dominance of this first half. And another set-piece opportunity, 2 arms raised. What does that mean from Daniel Arzani? Making sure that everyone knows what's coming. It means it's a sideways short pass. Teague looping into Conestabro, and after much anticipation, that free kick came to precious little.
Yeah, what a shame for Melbourne Victory there. Went for the short option, and then to try and change the angle, maybe looking for that deep ball, but Spirit are hanging on here, and it'd be great for them to try and mount some sort of possession. They're going to try and play it from the back here.
Given away, valid on. Spirit could be punished right here. Give away in an advanced position. The ball is going to deflect and bounce towards the line. Sugita keeps it in. And hurried defending has at least forced Victory back to the halfway line. And now potentially a giveaway. McKinley. Conestabro with it all to do. And he's done well to keep the ball at his feet initially, but eventually it's extracted away. Mishash. Valupale, first time return pass, and Marks is out to collect.
It's quite dangerous, isn't he? When he gets the ball to his feet, Mishash steps forward, big boy. Nobody really wants to take him on. And he's got some great options in front of him. Valupale just trying to just dig that one into his path. Anything might have held up for him with this win tonight.
Pass accuracy, quite a gulf between the two. It's because Spirit have just kicked to clear on a few occasions and booted the ball back to Victory. No intention other than to try and find a bit of temporary relief. Although Victory with a misplaced pass there. And now it gets a little bit hairy at the edge of their own penalty area. Sugita, he's got skills, but he perhaps bit off more than he could chew. Valupale coming back with possession. It's Nishan Valupale. And cleared by Cornwell out for a corner. Burgos was waiting at the near post.
It's really good defending and great positioning from Cornwell. Playing a more of a central role tonight in that back 3, back 5, but it's all about Valupale. So direct, so quick to try and get something inside the box, and he did the right thing, trying to engage with his teammates.
So a first corner of the night for Victory. Arzani on set-piece duty. Free kicks, corners the lot. It's a packed 6-yard box as Arzani makes up his mind on what the option is, and he balloons it out for a goal kick.
Nothing worse. Everybody up for the set piece, and the crowd were giving it to him as well on this side, and just tried to angle that ball. You can see possibly the artificial turf not being used to playing on it. You've really got to just try and be a bit more accurate and just get the ball in the box. You've got big boys in there.
There's a look at the fans who have taken up station behind the goal that Victory are attacking in this first half. Spirit, their own worst enemy, coughing up possession again. Valadon! And that one landed on the roof of the net.
It's a beautiful forward run, though, from Valadon from midfield. Something unexpected. Central midfield player running, making a third-man run, and Alzani's got the quality to pick out those sorts of passes. Just needed a little bit less on the contact.
See, he threw and flicked his right foot at it and tried to catch it. The right little bit of slice, but over the bar it went. Spirit just can't get out of their own defensive half at the moment. Victory must feel as though they're getting closer to an opening goal. Boss. Now Valadon. The wind about as strong as it's been all night, going across the pitch towards our cameras. Valadon keeping it under control, and now he's running into the wind as he tries to push it back out to the left flank.
And that's probably the idea, is that the players are all playing down this closer side to us where we're commentating from, is because they can't really get across the other side with a pass or running with the ball is quite difficult. So down this right-hand side for Melbourne Victory, if they're smart and get a bit more of an overload, they'll have some joy.
Mashash, Valupale. Couldn't find an opening, so retreat to Teague and then into the defensive half. Everything slows down just a little. Victory had had a good little spell of turning up the heat, trying to up the tempo on Spirit, and now they consolidate here. Mashash and Valupale trying to wind it up once again, but a clearance. Ooh, and that has absolutely socked one of the cars in the car park as it's cleared over all and sundry inside the venue.
Well, I hope he's got insurance.
Both taking a quick look over our shoulder just to make sure there's not too much damage. That's what the Australia Cup can do. Huge crowd in at a suburban venue, and they are looking to roar. Richie Darko hoping to run onto that pass. Spirit get a throw deep in attack.
It's really good play from Spirit and good defending from Brendan Hamill. He's got to watch Darko tonight. We know how quick he can be into those areas, but once he gets the ball, Richie Darko, he needs to have players supporting him. And you can just see here, there's options aplenty for him to run into space, but great awareness from Brendan Hamill, had that one covered.
Do they have a long throw routine here, Spirit, that they can try to catch Victory out with? Lum giving instructions. Here comes the throw, right to the edge of the 6-yard box. First header is Teague. And Sugita is going to have to track back to win possession. Pass around the corner. Came in from Nicholas, and now Victory with Guerrier have possession back. It's just about trying to create a few more of those moments that raise the heart rate in the Victory defence for Spirit.
Yeah, they've got to get themselves inside that 18-yard box, I think, a little bit more. It's easier said than done against a really good team that keeps the ball. And when they win it back, they're very quick to play it and get around you. So you fall back into this formation. And that's why Spirit have called that backfire tonight. You can see how compact they're making the middle of the pitch. But there's a problem with the ball at the moment now.
Yeah, you can see here Hamill is saying it's not inflated enough. So referee will come across, check, and fourth official will be quick on the scene to provide an alternative. Not much of a drama this. They've got two to choose from now. And thankfully, very little time lost. Playback live at the feet of Guerrier here. Azani. Teague. Boss was trying to sneak down the left sideline, but he was closely marked. Chidiac was watching him. Virgos is offside. Flag up and a Spirit restart.
It's a really nice line from Spirit there, and very difficult to play when you're up against A-League opposition. We saw that last night with Lions FC against the Wanderers. You've got to get it right, and you've got to be communicating at all times, and it was a super line.
We have not cited Spirit's number 17, Jacob Chidiac, much. He was such a creative force in the round of 32 against Glenorchy. He's going to try and run onto this long ball here, but he's out-pointed in the air. Mainly because he is tucking back in that defensive 5 and keeping an eye on Arzani and the overlapping Casey Boss down that left flank for the victory. So we'll know when Spirit are starting to get a bit more aggressive, because we might see a little bit more of him on the ball. Clash of heads here is unfortunate and has left Mashash a little worse for wear.
Well, these are the ones you've got to go into, and you've got to try and win the ball cleanly. Mashash didn't really know what was going on around him. Might be just a good opportunity now for both sides to reassess what they're doing in these first 24, 25 minutes or so. And I think for Patrick Kisnorbo, he'll be happy enough with the way that they're passing the ball. They haven't been able to penetrate because that Spirit back line and the midfield is very, very condensed at the moment.
Ante Bakba is the Spirit player who Mashash collided with. He was at Sydney United 58 last year, so they actually won through to the round of 16 of the Australia Cup as well. So he's gone this far with 2 different clubs in consecutive years. It is a bit of a rarity to see that in the Australia Cup. There's Patrick Kisnorbo. You were a teammate of his, Eric, in your playing days. How exciting is it to see him restarting, I would say, his coaching career back in Australia after his brief and unsuccessful stint in Europe?
Well, he's at the right place. He's at the right club, that he's hungry for trophies. And I think, you know, speaking with people around the club, it's changed the atmosphere. And, you know, this is a club that expects success, and they got themselves to that grand final again last year. Didn't win it, of course, but Patrick Kisnorbo is a serial winner, and he'll want to win at absolutely everything, whether it's training, the Australia Cup, the A-League. You know, it's a great pickup for Melbourne Victory.
And he still has so much to give. You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater because it didn't work out with that move to France. And it's a big expected club that he walks into now, hoping that his history of winning trophies, as you say, at Melbourne City can be replicated with Melbourne Victory. Cornwell clears. Valadon, Guerrier. Hefty challenge came in from McKinley. Darko. No one really running ahead of the ball beyond McKinley here, so Sugita's just going to hold it up. Now a long ball comes. Miranda composed. Valadon. Boss. For those of you wondering, yes, he is the brother of recently minted Socceroo Geordie. Speaking of Melbourne City and Melbourne Victory connections, the Boss family with a foot in each camp, as we see this behind for a corner kick. A foot in each camp of all 3 Melbourne teams across the Boss family. Western United, Melbourne Victory and Melbourne City in recent times.
And both of these boys left back. It's very, very rare to have that in the family, 2 left backs, isn't it?
Well, there's enough of an age gap that perhaps they weren't treading on each other's toes or competing with each other for spots in junior teams. Really more of a backyard thing. Here's a corner for Victory. A little gift from the Spirit defence. Can they make the most of it? Cornwell's up. And the ball slides on. That looks like it'll be a Victory throw on the opposite side of the pitch.
Well, you can see why Cornwell's been put in there tonight to lead by example. With that extra man, that spare man, trying to win absolutely everything that comes through the middle.
Mashash, a little too clever by half, couldn't find a teammate, and McKinley safety first with the clearance once again. Hamill. Teague. Looking for an incisive pass. The little backheel flick from Virgos. Arzani trying to capitalise. Velupale nicked off his toes at the last. Valadon able to retain the ball. Mashash turns and faces Arzani. Lots of yellow shirts between him and goal. Teague will shoot from distance. Brilliant goal! Lashed in by Ryan Teague. And Victory, at almost the half-hour mark, do score first. And it's taken an excellent strike for them to do so.
What an absolute thunderbolt there from Teague. And the NWS Spirit players' heads were spinning. It was great one-touch football there from Melbourne Victory. It just came out to him nicely, and he set himself up with a beautiful first touch on the outside of his foot. And when he hit that, it was just hit with so much power and right into the bottom corner. And Marks had absolutely no chance trying to stop that one from going in. But the pressure finally paying off for Melbourne Victory.
Well, on a night like tonight, you'd be forgiven for not taking too many long shots, given what the wind could do to it. But he kept that low. The trajectory was just about perfect. And that behind the goal shot looking down the ground, where we saw how much work the goalkeeper had to do, it was well beyond the reach of the outstretched arm. And it means that Melbourne Victory have the lead.
Let's head up to Perry Park now, because Moreton Bay Excelsior have equalised.
And it may have come off. Moora out to Holiday. Cuts back inside. Holiday! Oh, yes! This time we are back at level pegging.
Holiday, celebrate. 2-2 between Moreton City Excelsior and Perth Glory.
Would be just what the Spirit need. Lum. It catches the wind, it takes an awkward bounce, but it's not honing in towards the target. And ultimately, it beat everyone in the penalty area.
Just needed Williams there to gamble, and he just gave up on it at the last minute, and the ball just died right in the middle there. I'm telling you, if Williams would have gone all the way and believed he was going to get on the end of it, it might have been a different story.
Victory not going with any pretensions of playing out here. Happy just to boot it up into the attacking half, and immediately they find themselves at halfway and with the Spirit on the back foot. Mashash. Arzani. Veluple motoring, gets to the ball. And he looks to continue the run. The cut across. Vergos denied and scrambled away by Spirit's defence.
Super football that from Melbourne Victory. Arzani going coast to coast and just involving Veluple at the right moment. And didn't he show some great footwork to get himself away? Just wondered if it would have been a first-time finish here rather than taking the touch. And once he got that ball out of his feet, couldn't find the corner.
Arzani. Can't make any further progress. Teague. Conostabile just boots it away. Boss. Players running back to their regular positions after the corner kick. Now with the formation a bit more established, Victory go to work. Mashash. Collision at the top of the area has left Vergos prone on the ground. The referee appeared to miss it. Free kick elsewhere in the meantime, but Nicholas Vergos is protesting to our central referee, Daniel Cook, without any real sympathy.
Yeah, Mashash had a lot of space there on that right-hand side of the pitch and a bit frustrated, lost the ball and tried to win it back. But you can see what Melbourne Victory are trying to do there. They're just trying to pass it around the back line and wait for that opening.
Lum. McKinley. Now Conostabile. Dark Darko. He's barely had a touch of the ball in the game so far, but he's able to win a free kick here.
Not an easy job, and it's great to see Richie Darko not go quiet, playing that number 9 role, if you like, by yourself against a team like Melbourne Victory. It's very easy to go missing, and he's done really well to buy a couple of fouls and get himself into some good areas, into space. Can they capitalise on this opportunity now?
A little bit further advanced and a little bit wider than the free kick 3 minutes ago, straight after Spirit conceded. Lum has had one to hone his radar. Let's see what take 2 is like. An in-swinger and catching practice for Jack Duncan. And quick distribution sets Arzani away. Velupile switching flanks. Virgos. It sits up. And wrestled off the feet of Arzani initially. Virgos extracts across. The half volley was awkward. Off the shoulder. Darko's waiting for someone to come up and help him. Chidiac is the answer. Now popped back to Richie Darko. An arm across his chest. And eventually it's out. Spirit ball.
Brilliant. Just brilliant from Richie Darko to buy that foul. Again, showing everybody in his team which way the goal is. We're going this way. Follow me and try and keep up with me if you can. And Melbourne Victory are having a little bit of a problem trying to figure out a way to stop this guy tonight.
The next step is to get a shot away, to get a sighter on the goal. He is quite a capable long shot from distance too, so even if he gets dragged up the pitch, it doesn't take him out of contention to score. There's the shots on target count, just under 10 minutes until we find out first half stoppage. It's been a brisk game so far. McKinley. Virgos knocked off the ball and a foul.
Melbourne Victory want to get this one started quickly, and it's good to see Spirit just to keep on harassing, you know, the guys in the white shirts, trying to slow them down. And they're putting a lot of energy to go and press like that and trying to get in their faces, but they haven't got a lot of players committing forward. They're sitting in their positions, they're waiting, and they're going to do a lot of this tonight, but waiting and waiting and waiting for Melbourne Victory to make a mistake.
Miranda's long ball headed away by Cornwell. Arzani. First touch really accelerated and burst up to Valadon. He is sent back in the other direction though. Guerrier. Velupile. Now Mishash spins out of trouble. Velupile! March saw it late. It sits up. And the shot is put in by Valadon. Or is it? Flag up. Well, they had a half-decent penalty shout there as well. Victory through Virgos. But the ultimate decision is offside.
There's a great arrival there from Jason Guerrier that helped that situation for Melbourne Victory, but had a great opportunity, didn't they? 1 or 2 bites of that cherry. I want to see that one again.
Velupile's initial shot, Virgos clattered in the follow-up, and then Valadon puts it in, but the flag goes up. And now Virgos, perhaps taking out some of that frustration, has put himself in the book. Yellow card for the foul on Cornwell.
Well, here it is. There's that shot from Velupile, and it took a little deflection, and just there was an opportunity for Virgo in an offside position. That's why he got called.
And here's the yellow card, Eric.
Every day of the week, good refereeing, and just shows that frustration maybe for, you know, Nico Virgos, just trying to get himself into this game. Not an easy task, waiting in that 6-yard box for something to come to you, and when it does, you're in an offside position.
Well, I mean, he would have felt the shirt grab there. He would have been adamant it was a penalty, but only to get up and see the flag raised.
Talking penalties, one was awarded between the Oakley Cannons and Heidelberg United. Let's take a look.
Did see the ball deviate a little bit when he comes.
Joe Guess v. Yaron Souza. Oh, it's missed! The Mike Cockrell medalist. He's barely
The penalty is missed. 0-0 it remains between Oakley and Heidelberg.
Third. All of a sudden the ball is down in defence, and Captain Cornwell with some cool skills to get out of trouble and set Sugita away. Can he free his feet for a cross? He's got Guerrier for company. Trying to skip around two Victory players now, and the cross never swung in.
It's another good moment, though, for Spirit to try and pin Melbourne Victory in here. It's almost like park football sometimes, to try and get those percentages right. If you win the ball back in those areas, you're in business.
Burgos falls to the ground and he gets pushed by Buckmaz. Buckmaz, who himself has played extensively professionally in Croatia, Slovenia. He's been a journeyman player that was raised in Sydney. So he's seen it all before.
Well, the ball went in there and it was just a bit of a clash of bodies, and there was no retaliation really from Burgos on the ground that I could see. Was there a handball? And he had every right to put his body in the way there. And there was no trailing arm whatsoever.
Buckmaz, the defender, getting up to try and press with the attack. It's left potential gaps at the back here. Burgos is a lone hand, and now players break forward in support. Velupile, very firmly struck return pass, had too much on it. Into the last 5 minutes of regulation at the end of the first 45. Darko combining with McKinley, only as far as Roderick Miranda. Arzani, Mashash, now Velupile. Mashash stuck in a 1-on-2. Darko, and while he was looking for perhaps a step over touch to try and outfox Hamill, and ended up outfoxing himself.
Well, drama galore at Perry Park between Moreton City Excelsior and Perth Glory. Glory down to 10 men.
And a free kick and another. And in fact, it's a second yellow card. Just before half-time. Wasn't too much in that, but referee Adam Kersey.
So 10 men, and what a fight they will have on their hands, because it's 2-2 at Perry Park.
They've been scared to face.
Chidiac wiped out. Play continues. Teague, the goal scorer, finds Arzani. Mashash. Glued to his feet tonight, but he goes and wins it back in earnest. Velupile, great save. Marks tips it round the post. Fingertip stuff. And Nishan Velupile is foiled.
That is a top draw save. You may not see one better in the Australia Cup this season. That's sensational. The ball went all the way across and had all the whip and all the curl from Velupile. It's fingertips types of stuff there. It's beautiful action. Right-hander, right in the corner. It was going in. It's a great save.
Still got a corner to deal with. Arzani. Honing it on the far post. No one attacking the ball, and it will tumble out for a throw. So Victory can still try to pin Spirit in their defensive half.
Well, that's two corners now for Arzani, and you'd expect to see something a little bit better, and particularly when you haven't got one in the first time, you've got to make sure the second one at least hits the target.
Can Spirit get to half-time? Only a goal in arrears. Then perhaps start to brainstorm grand plans of hunting an equaliser, which has not really been on their agenda for much of this half. It's really been a story of Victory trying to put them in a vice and squeeze. Velupale. Attempted through ball is hit a little narrow. Chidiak's clearance. Now McKinley. Very nicely done by Jared McKinley, but he's in a 1-on-3. Now support comes. Conestabo is going to ground before contact was even made. No free kick. Mashash through the middle. Virgos, can he drag it onto his shooting foot? Eventually he turns and faces, and across to no one in particular. It might still sit up on the synthetic though. Boss arrived late. Marks collects.
Just needed some more help there, didn't he, the big man? He was trying to hold something up and wait for a runner to come through, and nobody from Melbourne Victory decided to try and help him out. It's been a frustrating half for Nico Virgos.
Mashash. Virgos again. Velupale wouldn't be denied this time. It took a top draw save to foil him once. But Nishan Velupale has doubled Victory's lead right on the stroke of half-time. And the A-League powerhouse are looking good. Have they put the tie to bed? Oh, the celebration of Mashash indicates maybe as much.
Well, that's much better from Melbourne Victory. They went central, they got support, and Virgos got himself involved. And that's all you have to do as a big target man sometimes. Wait for the runner to go alongside you and run off you. And Velupale knew exactly where that ball was going to go to him. And he just rolled it in the bottom corner. And he tells the guys here at Christie Park, I can't hear you.
Well, it went dead silent here at Christie Park. Even the wind died down briefly as Velupale puts that ball in the corner. He scored a double against the Lambton Jaffers, so that's 3 in the national rounds for him so far. And with so much expectation that this season will be his breakout A-League season where he becomes a league-leading talent, he is certainly showing excellent form in the Australia Cup. We've ticked into 2 additional minutes at the end of the first half. One of them has already expired. Melbourne Victory now with a firm foothold in the quarterfinal. Exactly who they're going to face in that quarterfinal remains a mystery, though, given the chaos that is going on in the other game, which we've been getting the updates from. So we see a long ball here. Darko looking for a play on the ball, but he can't get there. And now Boss down in the left back corner. Cleared away by Roderick Miranda. The offside flag is up, which is a bit of a killer right at the end of the first half.
And it's a killer conceding that second goal, Teo, just before half-time as well. It changes the team talk now because it's not just getting 1 goal back, you've got to get 2. And they've never really looked like troubling Jack Duncan in this first half, but from set pieces and for, you know, playing the ball in for Richie Darko, they need to do more of that. But when they go and risk a few things, it always seems like, you know, 1 step forward, 2 steps back for them.
So a big halftime team talk coming for David Perkovic. Can he mastermind a comeback? Melbourne Victory are jogging to the rooms as the whistle goes. They have laid down a marker here and are looking in an enviable position to advance to the quarterfinals of the Australia Cup in search of winning this trophy for the 3rd time in their history. The start of the Kisnorbo era going pretty well as things currently stand. Spirit, the home side, they've got a hopeful home crowd. Will they have something to cheer after the break? Right now, it's NWS Spirit 0, Melbourne Victory 2.
It's looking good for Melbourne Victory. We are off to a short break. I'll be back with Danny McBreen and Roy O'Donovan to run our eye over all of the action this round of 16 Australia Cup night, because it's a goal fest between Moreton City Excelsior and Perth, and no goals just yet between Oakley Cannons and Heidelberg. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to the Australia Cup round of 16 and northern suburbs of Sydney. They're tonight at Christie Park. It's a pretty windy one, a little bit of spice up there as well. NWS Spirit from New South Wales NPL up against Melbourne Victory. Nishan Balupale has been pretty busy, got himself a goal there as you can see, as that is our main game. There are games across 3 states this evening. We're keeping you across all of the action because we are across all of the action on the various screens that you can't see at home but are beyond the cameras here. Welcome back to Danny McBreen and Roy O'Donovan. What have you made of the opening half? Melbourne Victory sitting in the lead pretty comfortably, 2-0 at the moment.
Yeah, look, NWS Spirit, they put up a good fight. They didn't make it easy. But as we do see, as these competitions go on, when the A-League team are a little bit further into pre-season, we start to see them dominate a little bit more. And again, it was 2 great finishes, really, wasn't it? Ryan Teague with a thunderbolt from distance, yes, and then Nishan Balupale, who's looked dangerous down this right-hand side, creating, this time taking the chance to curl one in the bottom corner. Shows again just that little bit of class difference between the step up between the A-League, but they have been dominant, Victory.
They have been, and Spirit won't be happy with themselves either, just the way they're not taking any chances at the back, which I understand. They're getting the ball forward as quick as they can, but up front they're not getting hold of the ball. They're not really giving Victory anything to think about, to worry about, and I think Victory are going to go home quite easily with the result tonight.
Daniel Arzani's been heavily involved, pretty busy on the left. What are your thoughts on Nikos Virgos? We're seeing him for the first time. Their Greek striker led to a foul and a moment for them, but also really busy and heavily involved in the action. Yeah,
look, he's been there and thereabouts, causing problems for them. You can see he's got the qualities there, but you can also see that you might be able to get him a little frustrated and wind him up as well. The one that came down on his foot, I thought could have been a yellow card because they do hurt and it was late. Yeah. He's probably feeling a little aggrieved that wasn't as well. But the other one that was offside, that he was close, you know, he was in the right position, looked like he was about to score. We were both screaming penalty, and then it's offside. So he's there, he's in the right positions, and he's putting his body about and trying to just learn to gel with his teammates and what their best qualities are and how he can work with that.
We'll take a look at the first half highlights now. Yeah, some high, rapid wins at Christie Park. A great crowd building as well. But you can see the opening opportunities at Melbourne Victory, fashioning a great job from Marquez there, the goalkeeper too.
Yeah, like he's a really good keeper. He's kept them in the game at times. But as Maka touched on, 2 really quality finishes from Teague. From this one from distance against a really good keeper in Marquez, and then Balupale, the next one after this one, that's been the difference really, just that little bit of quality in the final third, the ability to hurt the opposition that Spirit don't look like they have at the moment.
Well, it's what we saw last night too, wasn't it, with Lions and Western Sydney, when we saw the who was it? Scored the opening goal. Was it Milanovic?
Yeah, Milanovic.
Milanovic, yeah, when he hit that, got him into from a similar distance for Teague, thunderbolt into the bottom corner, and then the tide starts to open up. The heads go down a little bit, and the A-League team starts to get a little bit of confidence. They haven't made it easy. They've got lots of bodies around the edge of box. You can see there's loads of body there, yep, but he just tucks it away nicely, and it was a lovely little back heel as well from their new striker to lay it on. So they're starting to combine, they're starting to get to know each other, and I agree with Roy. I think that now that Victory have the lead, they'll go on with this and see the game out comfortably.
Yeah, they will. They're looking pretty good. They headed into the sheds pretty quickly, and we're going to take a look at the stats there as well. As you can see, that dominance when you look at the shots in total and the shots on target from Melbourne Victory. Their possession as well, you can see their class above there.
Yeah, look, they've had most of the dominant display in the game. They've had most of the field possession as well. You can see passes made, all that stuff is in their favour. NWS Spirit is the only shot on goal was that header in the first few minutes of the game, but they've really struggled, as Roy said, to get forward. Darko's tried to be that man, but he's been a bit isolated at times as well, really battling on his own in a physical sense, but it has been a dominant display.
Let's take a look, and we'll go to the home of the Matildas now, and this huge heavyweight clash between the powerhouses in Victoria. It's the Oakley Cannons and Heidelberg. Heidelberg aren't playing finals, but they've had their opportunities, haven't they, Oakley?
Well, they have. We knew this would be a tight game, 3rd versus 4th in Victorian League. 2 teams that know each other quite well. But you can see there's a little bit of spite, these 2 guys, obviously, when they've played against each other before. A few chances at each end, but when the penalty does finally come, which, Roy, we had a bit of a discussion about whether we thought it should be a penalty or not, but we could see both sides. But you can see that it's been quite an open game with chances at each end. But I think Oakley will be disappointed having a penalty and not being ahead at half-time.
Well, the game is on a knife edge, definitely. As you said, they know everything about each other and they're pushing each other. There's a good, vibrant crowd there. But as you touched on, Oakley getting the penalty, I think, is the next clip coming up. The handball here, you can see it hits his hand. I know you're talking about he slides, almost sliding past the ball, but for me, it's a penalty. Joe Guest won't sleep tonight after missing that one. You would have put your house on him. Their captain, their main man. And look how happy Yaron Souza is there.
A bit of verbals going on there, isn't there?
It's a rarity, isn't it, that we would see Joe Guest miss from the spot when he steps up in that moment as well. There's a bit of feeling. You just get the feeling as well, the longer this game goes on, we could be headed for extra time and penalties.
I thought that from the start with this one. Nothing's changed my mind.
What are the stats telling us, Roy, when you're looking at that and the complexion of the game? And you said it's been open. Oakley, of course, had that penalty that could have changed it all for them.
Yeah, look, it's finely balanced. 2 shots on target for Oakley. Heidelberg have had a few penalty box entries without taking their chances. I know Kane Shepherd has been in there once or twice and has kind of, instead of pulling the trigger, he's looked for a pass. Yeah. So they need to be a bit more selfish. But yeah, it's going to be tight margins here. You know, it could be a set piece and one breakaway to win the game.
Well, let's get out there now because Michael Zapponi has been keeping a very close eye on all of the action. Zappos, have you seen it?
Yeah, thank you, Tara. An entertaining first half here, but still 0-0. The best chance of the night going to Oakley with a penalty. Joe Guest, one of the stars, the captain of the club, who's been outstanding for them for many seasons now. He stepped up and completely missed the target, giving Heidelberg a reprieve. Heidelberg weren't happy about the awarding of the controversial penalty. In their opinion, they thought it wasn't a handball because the supporting arm was used. Down at the other end, a few minutes later, they did have a shout. Anthony Lesiotis getting forward and calling for a penalty as well. So as the teams were walking off, John Anastasiadis wasn't happy at all. He'll now need to regroup and know that his side can come back into this contest. Still 0-0 at half-time. Oakley have the edge. They've had the edge all season over Heidelberg. Can Heidelberg overcome them? We'll find out very soon.
Yeah, what a big clash that is. Of course, we'll see how it plays out. A big second half heading your way across Network 10 as well. Mac, you said it. You're expecting there'd be goals galore between Moreton City Excelsior and Perth Glory. You got what you wanted. It's 2-2, red card, man sent off for Perth Glory. I mean, this could go any which way.
Look, Perth are just doing Perth things, aren't they? You think... You know they're going to score goals, but you also know they're going to concede goals. And you were thinking with all the changes this year and the staff and the way the club's changing direction that maybe that would change. Well, 5-4 in the last game, 2-2 in this game at half-time. A player sent off as well. So, yeah, it's entertaining as always. We love Perth Glory when they're out there because you know there's going to be action.
Can Perth hold on? They're a man down, Roy.
I don't think so. I think it's a proper cup tie. We said that we didn't think there'd be an upset, but it's definitely changed things. I think there's great movement here from Marquez Walters. Lovely slip ball. Great finishing. You got to say Marquez Walters must be favoured for that Mike Cockrell medal this year, the way he's playing. And, yeah, just out of nowhere, just got Moreton City Excelsior back in the game. As we're going to see this one, the breakaway. He runs at the defence, commits him, splits the defence. Marquez Walters under the keeper, Ollie Sale, and they're back in the game. Now, this is the goal. Yeah. It comes wide. He comes inside Risdon. No cover from defence. But what a great finish that was. He's on a holiday. What a finish.
You're right. It's a great finish, but you're right. Who's coming to protect Risdon there when he cuts inside? Where's your other centre-back? Where's your six, your defensive midfielders to come in and step in those areas there? It's poor defending, but you can't take anything away from Holiday. He's cut inside, and that is a great finish.
Ben Holiday with a finish to make it 2-2, and that is well and truly game on. Well, let's head back out to Christie Park now because Eric Partaloo and Tristan McManus are standing by team. What have you made of all the action that you're seeing out there on a very windy night in the northern suburbs of Sydney?
Eric, a real sucker punch right before the half-time whistle there. Are you seeing enough from Spirit here to maybe potentially get back into it?
Well, it's going to be a tough one for them. They've done really well defensively, staying inside their own 18-yard box, and not a lot of things getting, put in centrally. But that last goal was a sucker punch, wasn't it? I think they're looking good victory when they play it out wide, and they've got the players to kill you, through that middle. It was great to see, the big number 9 try and get himself involved a little bit more, Virgos, and then that layoff to, Velupile was a great finish from him. But they need more of that Melbourne victory. But I think for Spirit right now, if they risk a little bit more, it could be, even more for Melbourne victory to score a goal. So I think for NWS Spirit now, it's about trying to contain this first 5 or 10 minutes or so, and then look for more of, the runs of Richie Darko getting forward. They can do it, but they have to believe in it.
And in terms of victory, I mean, granted they're 2-0 up, but are you happy with how they're playing? Will PK be happy with the way they're playing today?
I think so. I mean, 2-0, half-time, job's not done, but they have a lot of players on the bench. They've got Bruno Fornaroli still sitting there walking towards us now. And, they've got the quality in them. It's about keeping possession for them. It's about getting through the 90 minutes with ease. But it's good to see some of these players. I mean, some of these young kids watching the likes of Daniel Arzani and Nishan Velupile walking forward and, taking all these players on. It's great to see a bit of attacking intent. So it's been a good night of football.
Yeah, it's been great. Well, we got the Spirit tribe here. We got all the academy players here behind us, the under-9s, the 14s, the 15s. The Spirit is right, and let's keep going here for the second half. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks so much, team. A big second half about to start now, so it's back over to Teo Palazziri.
So the start of the second half here at Christie Park. Melbourne Victory attacking the left of your screens as they get back underway with a 2-0 lead in pocket. No substitutions at half-time from either side, so what does Spirit have in store? Massive team talk for David Perkovic to try and get his side to spark up. Maybe, given their best chance to score in the first half, Eric Partaloo, was that early header, which was saved by Jack Duncan. These first couple of exchanges of the second period might be their best chance to get an avenue back into the game.
It always is, Teo, and that's the thing about playing in the Australia Cup against A-League opposition. You've got to take those opportunities when they arise. And it's usually early on before, the A-League sides can get their confidence, can get their shape, can get their little bit of, it's a good move here.
Connor Starbo, right on cue. Perhaps this is the moment. Darko, Connor Starbo, numbers over on the left. Can Spirit make it work? The ball just held up on the synthetic, and Mishash, taking no risks, booted it away. It won't find the safety of the line. You can see the graphics on your screen showing you the teams that are out there at present. This man, Kai Williams, in the number 36, had that great chance. The header, which was battered away by Jack Duncan when the score was still 0-0. Spirit haven't really had a great opportunity to score since then. Boss's header breaks central. A little awkward for Hamill, but he steadies and puts it on the head of Bakmaz. Now Sugita. He's going to shoot. Oh, and he shinned it away, and it's missed the target by a mile.
Yeah, the chances when you get a side at front of goal, you've got to make those count. And what do we say about trying to test Jack Duncan and test him early on, especially before they can get set into the second half?
You can tell why he's a left-sided player, unfortunately, with this attempt.
Oh, it bounced around everywhere, to be fair to him, but he should know this surface by now. Getting the ball out of his feet. He's got to hit the target from there.
Takeru Sugita. We saw him on the ball plenty of times on that left flank in the first half, but often without any support or the ability to make a combination play. Spirit tried to build an attack. They do have a throw in here. Jack Duncan, one significant save in the game. Of course, coming over to victory from the Wellington Phoenix, where it is expected he will be back up to Mitch Langerak for the majority of the season, but he's still just a very accountable, honest professional who's going to turn up every day and keep himself in shape and ready to play if called upon.
That was nice from Miranda there. Nice touch. He could have easily thrown Conestaro into the fence there, and he tried to save him and the cameraman. But you're spot on about the goalkeeping position. It's going to be really talked about in the next couple of months. And I'm sure that Patrick Kisnorva has said to Jack Duncan that even though Mitch Langerak is coming here, if you're playing regularly, you're playing well, there's no reason why I'll put you in and be number 2 at that point in time.
Spirit want to make some work for him, but they can't keep possession in their attacking half here. Teague, his goal the opener. Guerrier, Valupale, Hamill, trying to distribute to Boss. Defensive header break central. Cornwell takes an unkind deflection here. Leaves Williams having to scurry, but it will be a Spirit throw. Very deep Melbourne Victory bench, very senior bench. Any particular players or subs you think might be in the offing based on how early it is in Victory's preparation for the season ahead, or the level of exertion you've seen from players out there so far tonight?
Well, there's only one name on that bench that wants to play, you know, in terms of maybe thinks he should be playing. And that's Bruno Fornaroli. I had a chat to him quickly at half-time there, and he's just waiting for his moment in this game, and still hungry as ever to get on the pitch and pull the Victory shirt on and score goals. He believes that he will continue that, and maybe just tonight, just resting him on this surface. He isn't the youngest chicken at the moment, is he? He's still getting on in years, but Bruno Fornaroli, you know there's goals in there, there's class in him, and I'm sure that Kisnorva will use him a little bit later on.
There is a look at the Victory bench, including Bruno Fornaroli, arms folded. I mean, you say he's not the youngest chicken. Our man back in the studio, Roy O'Donovan, played right here on this pitch and ended up with a 20-goal NPL season for Sydney Olympic this campaign, so he shouldn't be too daunted. If Roy O'Donovan can do it, surely Bruno Fornaroli can do it.
Oh, Roy had a great season, and wish him well with whatever he's planning after football as well. Roy O'Donovan.
Ball through the right channel here. Valupale trying to accelerate onto the ball, and the line wins out. It is a goal kick. So 5 second half minutes played, and Spirit yet to really launch an attack of note, while Victory are still warming into the second half. Long ball for the runners to go and chase. Hamill has best position and doesn't take any risks with Darko on his case. Hooked it high, and then it landed at the feet of Guerrier. He goes to ground. The end result is a Victory throw. Patrick Kisnorbo right there on the scene. Arthur Dillez, one of his assistant coaches in the background. Former Western Sydney Wanderers National Youth Championship winner, before making the move south to Melbourne. Miranda tried for the improvised through ball. McKinley. Valupale. Plenty of space here. Tries to thread it through for Mishash, and he wins a corner.
And that's the worry. If you're giving Nishan Valupale any time on the ball, he likes to dribble, but he's just shown there he can make a really good forward pass into that space. A great connection with Mishash, hasn't he? Trying to find that little pass inside the box, and they win themselves another corner. Melbourne Victory.
Right under the awning of the club rooms, where the balcony is packed, and that corner of the pitch has a lot of spectators watching this in-swinger hone in on the back post, and it clears everyone in the air. It's going to be retrieved out on the left side. Valadon keeps the attack going. Boss, really confident first touch. Arzani. And he's just put a little bit too much on that pass. An unchaseable ball which sails out.
It's a shame because the wind has died ever so slightly, and I think for Daniel Arzani there, he was hoping that would have hung up in the wind. In the first half, that would have been the case. It's, you know, dropped significantly here in the second half.
Pass around the corner was a little hurried, and so Boss can combine with Arzani. Valadon and Arzani. Everything slows down just a little, though, for Victory, so they reset at the centre of defence. Mishash. Valadon. Zinedine Mishash And that one has gone over what would have been 2 frames of goal. It just caught on and kept rising.
Well, let's head to Melbourne. The deadlock has been broken between the Oakley Cannons and Heidelberg United.
Defender over the top for Guest, who flicks it into the middle. Or real danger, and the opener for Oakley.
Jordan Hall with the goal. Oakley Cannons in the lead, 1-0.
Fine, but nobody in support of that long ball once it does go forward.
Spirit throw in deep at right back. Vickery have sent their subs to all go and warm up. Spirits are all currently still seated on the bench as we approach 10 minutes into the second half. There is David Perkovic and his bench. It's a bit of a doppelganger, some believe, for Aidan Gillen, the actor from The Dark Knight and also Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. It's intended as a compliment, by the way. Who will they turn to, though, on the bench, Spirit? We've seen Zach Cianci play really well against Glenorchy in the round of 32. It is otherwise a bench filled with youth team players who primarily have been bench options in the seniors and under-20s in the NPL. So if he does have a young Tyro there that he wants to unleash, maybe he's just waiting until a little bit later in the night when the fresh legs might be able to do a little bit more penetrating.
Well, they're not out of this game yet, Teo. That's the thing. And, you know, they look very comfortable, Melbourne Victory, in and out of possession. But if they can get a few players forward and try and test the goalkeeper a little bit more. I know it's easier said than done, but they've got to try and get that ball into Darko and play off him a little bit more.
Valadon. Vergos back to goal. Plenty of defenders on his case. Valadon. And perhaps you're right that players haven't readjusted to going back to hitting their passes a little bit more naturally now that the wind has died down from that rather wild first half.
Yeah, Valadon there. It's great to see him move with the ball, and sometimes that longer ball in the air hasn't been on tonight. And where Melbourne Victory have got their joy is playing it out wide and coming in and connecting, playing quickly across that edge of the D sort of area. There's another ball on the pitch here.
Yeah, I wonder if the referee's going to stop play. We nearly had Bocce for a moment there as they went honing into each other, but all's well that ends well. The referee sees no need to stop play. Little flick on. And now Mashash is on the move. Gaps opening up just a little here for Victory. Velupale hones in from the right. Brilliant first-time ball. Put it on a silver platter for Vergos to tap in and make it 3. And Melbourne Victory were devastating there.
Champagne football at its finest. Beautiful to watch. Worth the ticket price alone. All started with Daniel Arzani. What a beautiful little flick. And then it just opened up for them. And with Mashash playing that ball forward into space. And Velupale first time getting it right across for the big number 9, Nico Vergos, to get a goal for Melbourne Victory. And it just looked so good and so quick. NWS Spirit could not keep up with it. And where do you want the ball if you're a striker? It's there.
Well, when they did the scouting and drew up the plans for Vergos, bringing him into this Melbourne Victory team, you can see how happy he is, and I imagine many of the goals that they were aspiring to score would have looked something like that.
Just a beautiful move, and just when you thought you'd go and get close and press players and try and get close and not allow them to have time and space, you know, there's 3 or 4 players on a different level on this pitch tonight for Melbourne Victory.
And now Spirit have sent their own bench to go and warm up too. So we might be about to see a raft of substitutions from both teams. Can Spirit grab a goal back in the blink of an eye? McKinley heads it down into the danger area, but Teague was first to respond. And neither Sugita nor Darko were really in a good position to attack the ball.
nor to take a risk, and just to try and flick a foot at it and test Jack Duncan. Now, they're crying out for them. I know this whole crowd here at Christie Park wants to see some goalmouth action up this end.
Well, you were down at ground level. The cheer when one of the kids hit the crossbar in the halftime crossbar challenge was so loud, it gave us a great indicator of what it might sound like if we have a goal. Can Spirit do it right here? Good headed by Teague away. Now the volley from Conostarbo, and it's cleared out of the pack of players. It takes a deflection and sits up for a chance. It would have been offside. It wouldn't have counted for Cornwell.
Well, that's better from Spirit. Just have a crack, and it started with a volley on the edge of the box, and that's much better from the guys in yellow and black, and it was offside. Jack Duncan easily gathered that one.
Grant Cornwell was the scorer when Spirit last made the national rounds. It was their debut in the competition in 2022. They lost 2-1 up in Brisbane, or Redcliffe, to Peninsula Power. Cornwell was the scorer in that game. 2 years later, they find themselves in the round of 16, so they've won a tie in this competition for the first time, but barring an all-timer comeback, it looks like it is going to end here in the round of 16. And this is their final competitive game of the season. They haven't made the finals in NPL New South Wales, so this will be handshakes and thanks for the year at full time, unless they can score at least 3. Here's Conostarbo, and he puts it right down the throat of Duncan.
Well done, Conostarbo, having a crack when maybe there was a pass on for his teammate in a better position, but it was Jason Guerrier giving the ball away and trying to play his teammate Brendan Hamill, and they got mixed up. It's a good gather from Jack Duncan as well.
And it is just a sign that if Victory drop their intensity due to having a 3-goal buffer and feeling like the job is done, Spirit can start to really take some liberties, and you've been calling for them to take some risks and take the game on a little bit more.
Well, the crowd want to see it, and it's one thing that the crowd are watching a very, very good football team in Melbourne Victory come here, and it's great to see so many young people out here watching the likes of Arzani and Valupale on the ball and showing them skills and little tricks and flicks.
Cornwell now doing what he is more accustomed to doing, which is having to defend. Sugita, now first time clearance. Darko tries to bring the ball under his command. Spirit bench think there was a foul by Teague. Referee doesn't agree. However, the back pass has been sharped. Conostarbo went in and stole it away. He's a lone hand up top. Now the cavalry arrives, but McKinley can't take possession of the ball.
Well, that's twice now. Conostarbo on the same wavelength of where the ball is going to end up. And you're right, Taya, Melbourne Victory may be just getting a little bit casual in the way that they want to play out from the back.
Of course, they'll have a mix of Australia Cup ties and pre-season friendlies against both A-League teams, but also other NPL Victoria teams that have been knocked out of the finals. They played Altona Magic a week ago, and they've got A-League opposition lined up as well before the season kicks off.
But these are the best games, aren't they? Packed crowds, everybody against you. It's a great learning curve for some of the younger players in the squad as well, and also to get you in that mode of travelling for the A-League games.
Boss has made a forward run. High ball can't pick him out though. Chidiac is going to have to commit to the slide challenge against Arzani. Conversations going on with the fourth official, but still no players upstanding next to him just yet, Sam Kelly. So we're yet to see the first sub of the night.
Yeah, he's good to watch, Daniel Arzani, and he's definitely in the mood tonight.
Early free kick here appears to have caught out the Spirit defence. Virgos denied. 1-on-1. Marks extended himself as wide and as horizontal as he could go and blocked the ball. And it launches a counter-attack. Conostarbo, Darko swept upon by Teague. Very attentive midfield covering work by Ryan Teague. He really is a workhorse, and he's won possession back there.
Well, we identified a lot of plays in those different areas.
Game being stretched, a bit of end-to-end stuff. Marks out of his area. Valupale has the ball hooked clear. Out to safety by Simon Nicholas.
Here's that chance, and he couldn't return the favour. Couldn't find his teammate Valupale, and he just got his wires crossed, didn't he? Could have easily just swung his right foot at that. and he could have had another goal to his name.
Given that Bruno Fornaroli is sitting on the bench, a double to Nicholas Vergos could have been absolutely priceless in that campaign to be the team's starting centre forward. The ball into the box here is looking threatening. And is that a penalty? No, it's a foul Spirit's way after a coming together just inside the area.
Well, I think that's what Patrick Kisnorbo's been good at, is keeping this squad hungry. You've only got to look at what happened with the likes of Alex Lee, who had a really strong game in the last round of the Australia Cup, and he's left him out of the squad entirely. He's just trying to keep everybody hungry, and there's been a sub here for NWS Spirit.
Yeah, Corey Kavanagh coming on. I think he parked right next to you in the car park coming in, Eric, earlier tonight. He didn't seem overly confident about Spirit's chances of winning. He comes on for Jared McKinley, who I must say has been one of the more noticeable players in an attacking sense for Spirit so far in the game, but that's the first and only change so far, and it looks as though Victory are going to have a double sub at the next break in play to signal their first changes of the night. Here's a spin on the ball from Buckmans. Now Chidiac, Kavanagh, first touch off the bench, little step over from Conostarbo, a little bit too hot to handle, and it goes out for a throw, and that is going to prompt Victory's first substitutions as Patrick Kisnorbo gives final instructions to two players next to the fourth official here. Some 20 minutes into the second half, and the first change, as we see Nishan Velupillay just getting some instructions, it appears as though he's going to stay on. I think that was Nico Vergos' number coming up. People are shouting at him. It's you. Bruno Fornaroli is there along with Rino Piscopo. And now the message has made its way to Vergos. He leaves the pitch on the opposite side, and Zinedine Mashash will jog over to the Victory sideline as the other substitute to leave the game. So it's Fornaroli on for Vergos and Piscopo on for Mashash. A real display of the depth that Victory have brought up to Sydney for this cup tie.
Well, he's keeping them hungry, and it's great to see the way he's rotated his squad tonight, but also after being a couple of goals up now. What a bad substitute to throw on Bruno Fornaroli up front, is it?
With the scoreline already 3-0, could it signal more pain on the way, depending on how hungry Victory are to keep the intensity up? Spirit have just started to grow into the half as far as a bit more territorial opportunity. They're not turning it into clear-cut chances on a regular basis just yet. They would love to score one. I do think this ground is going to make a great noise if they can hit the back of the net tonight. Darko dispossessed by Arzani. Great close control. And he slips away into space. Goes for the killer ball. And nearly the perfect introduction for Fornaroli. Velupillay follows up to make it 4. Fornaroli foiled, but not Velupillay. He's got a double, and Melbourne Victory have 4.
It's that change of pace and that change of thought from Melbourne Victory tonight that's been first class. Arzani getting away from a couple of challenges and then just goes into space, and he sees Bruno Fornaroli, who's just come off the pitch, and tried to get that ball past the goalkeeper. It was a good save initially, and then Marks didn't know exactly where the ball was going to end up, and it was Velupillay who just hung about and waited for scraps, and it's a good little side-footed finish, and Victory are in cruise control here at Christie Park.
So a double in both the round of 32 and the round of 16 for Nishan Velupillay now. We saw Liam Boland overtake a Melbourne Victory man, Besart Barisha, as the top scorer in the national rounds of the Australia Cup with his double for Olympic Kingsway last night. And Nishan Velupillay in one tournament alone is starting to put together a very decent little goal tally here. So the scoreline, Spirit won't want this to get out of hand, but there is a determined bench of Victory players eager for minutes, and still plenty of time to go on the clock. Sugita. Buckmans chips it into space. It's entirely the Victory backline occupying it. Crowd still having a bit of fun with Jack Duncan, but he's not looking too flustered. And the ball clipped over the top. Conestogo making a run. He's legged! And the referee waves it away.
Wow. That could have gone either way, and it's gone Melbourne Victory's way. I'd want to see another replay of that. That was definitely contact there.
It was a great pass from Jared Lum out of the centre of midfield. It's set up beautifully for Conestogo to run onto. Getting a first look picture-in-picture. We might do a bit more forensic work on it with another look, but gee, the crowd were expected, and then Daniel Cook waved it away pretty decisively too. He is a referee that's refereed the Cup final in South Australia. He's taken charge of a number of the big games over in that state before getting his A-League opportunity, so he's not overawed. Foul here. Let's have another look, Eric.
That's a great little ball from Lum, wasn't it? And he got right between the two defenders. It looked like there's definitely contact there from Brendan Hamill. I'm not sure where the contact occurs. We're going to get a great angle of it here. It's a late challenge again on Jason Guerrier as well. But maybe that was the best chance for NWS Spirit to take a goal away from Melbourne Victory there.
That foul led to Jared Lum also getting a yellow card, so he's in the book. Has to behave with 20 minutes to go. Now going to see a foul Spirit's way.
Just Jason Guerrier getting his own back for that late tackle, but a few chances coming now for Spirit, and it's going to make it very interesting the last 20 minutes or so.
Well, it was a midweek that threatened potential for a number of cup sets, but we haven't had one come to fruition so far. Kingsway gave it an almighty tussle against Adelaide United last night, and even though the final score was 4-0 Lions FC, as there's an offside against Darko coming back here. Lions FC went down 4-0, but had chances at 0-0, chances at 1-0 down, chances at 2-0 down, which they didn't take, and ultimately got punished by the Western Sydney Wanderers. Unfortunately, this game hasn't had quite the same level of jeopardy to it. So I think everyone's got goal alerts on here, as do I, keeping a very keen eye on how Northern City Excelsior versus Perth Glory is going, because we may have a cup set before the night is out.
And they're a man down as well, I think, Perth Glory.
Yep, so you're never short of action in the Australia Cup, especially on nights like tonight where it happens at all different venues.
It's great work from Conestogo. He really wants something from this game tonight. He wants to finish his season on a high.
Well, especially with the confusion around the National Second Division, which appears to not be, for now at least, going ahead as a winter alternative league to the NPLs. It seems that the NPLs will continue uninterrupted as normal for next year, so a lot of these players are heading into an off-season where I'm sure NWS Spirit will have plenty of competition to keep them. Exposure to the national stage of the Australia Cup always gets people looking in from all corners of the country. Never mind further afield, Southeast Asia, and professional opportunities outside of Australia. Here's a corner for Lum, but sadly it tails away and doesn't even hit the side netting as it goes out.
Looks like a few more substitutions now for NWS Spirit.
So number is up here for Ante Bakmaz to leave the game, and he had that clash of heads in the first half, but shook it off. And Zach Cianci, who was excellent against Glenorchy in the round of 32, is going to get some minutes here, and also Jesse Michelle is coming on. He can be a very slippery customer to try and mark in attack, so some fresh legs there to run up the Victory defence. And applause now for Jared Lum. He's leaving the game, and he acknowledges the home support, the veteran, as he goes to the sideline. Cianci is the man who's coming on.
He's had a good game. Jared Lum playing those balls over the top and doesn't look out of place at all on a football pitch against Melbourne Victory, let me tell you.
So new faces and fresh legs for NWS Spirit as they chase a goal, as they chase something from this first clash that the club has had against an A-League opponent. Just their second visit to the national rounds of the Australia Cup. Headed by Teague. Slides off the head of Williams now. Fornaroli trying to take command of the game. Slips it on. It's nicely done to Piscopo. Haven't seen much of him since coming on. Arzani. It's a meaty slide challenge coming in from Kavanagh.
It's a great challenge from Corey Kavanagh there. Good to see the youngster get a run tonight as well.
Very foul throwish by Chidiac, but the referee lets it slide. Now Miranda being harassed by Michelle, the other latest sub into the game, and he's done so to good effect because he's won his team a throw.
Maybe at a different level that would have been given as a foul.
I imagine at a different scoreline it may have been a bit more earnestly protested, but 4-0, I think many of the players are letting bygones be bygones. Here's Williams. Now Sugita uses his left foot. That's a beautiful crossfield ball. And Cianci, let's see what he can do. The sub that's just come into the game. Sizes up the defenders and doesn't take them on. Darko. Patrick Isnorbo waves his defence up. He's running every kick of the ball still. You wouldn't know that the scoreline is what it is from his body language. There's a real intensity to his coaching. Cianci tries to show a turn of pace, but Valupale is sticking to him stride for stride. Tries to create some separation.
And that's why Patrick Isnorbo keeps giving instructions on the sideline. He wants players like Valupale who are expected to try and take the ball and create things for the side, but it's also about getting back and helping out defensively. And, you know, 75 minutes gone, you want your players to buy into that team's philosophy of having to be solid defensively. Patrick Isnorbo, I'm telling you, at 4-0, he'll want 5, he'll want 6, he'll want 7.
High ball here is going to get over the head of Hamill, and then Kavanagh really let the ball hit him more than a fashioned header of any real attempt to find a teammate. And so it's cleared away. Williams down to Marks. Darko received the ball in space, which was very quickly closed down by Piscopo. Closed down illegally, according to the referee.
He's been good tonight, and it's been a frustrating game for him. He hasn't really had to do any sort of striker's work inside the box. It's all about hold-up play and buying fouls and doing the dirty stuff. And he's probably not accustomed to doing that on the weekend in the NPL, but he's done a really good job.
Substitution here for Victory. Daniel Arzani is coming off, and this is a great moment for young Jordan Hoey. He's going to make his first team debut. And he is the twin brother of Jesse Hoey. They both played in Victory's NPL team that won promotion after the top flight in NPL Victoria. Jesse's made youth national teams. Jordan is just trying to get his feet back under him after a bit more of an injury-affected season, but these two twin brothers, they've got massive raps on them from the Victory youth setup. And given they've just come off a very successful winter season, it makes sense that Patrick Isnorbo is exposing some of those youth to senior level.
Yeah, how good is it having a tournament in pre-season and being able to identify young talent and then slip them in? And we talked about Alex Lee before. This could be another one of those for Patrick Isnorbo.
The wind has picked right back up to its first half ferocity here across the ground. So hugging the very line which Spirit are trying to attack from now. Ball into the box, will hold up in the air. Header slides on for Valadon. His clearance, though, is errant. And Conestabro got a shot away, but it ultimately wasn't that close to the target.
No, he deserves to get something tonight. He's worked ever so hard and tried to get himself a little yard of space and couldn't direct that one across goal. It's all about pinball inside the box, and showed a really clean pair of heels just to try and manufacture space for himself. And Conestabro, if he goes across the goalkeeper, might have been in the back of the net.
Here is Jordan Hoey showing real fleet feet to break the lines and find Valuple, who's on a hat-trick, don't forget. 1 tackle, 2 from Williams, but can't repel the victory too far. Valadon, and now Fornaroli. Fornaroli need 1-2 with Piscopo, but they can't connect. Teague. Hoey making space out on the right flank. Puts his head down and tries to show his jets. He's a quick player. He's not able to get on the end of a 1-2 here, but again, another hungry sub coming off the bench, bringing a bit of new vigour to Victory's play, even with a comfortable arm's length lead.
Yeah, it's easy to get in that mindset, isn't it, when you're 4-0 up and keeping all the possession. You need to, keep going in that mindset of what your coach is asking for you. And I'm sure Kis Norbo's philosophy this year is to be aggressive, yes, to be in control in the Australia Cup, but I can tell you that Melbourne Victory are going to have a very good year this season. You can already see the foundations are there to be really aggressive in that wide area, and they're not going to stop. They're going to play all the way into the 90th minute with aggression.
Garia. Hoey. Holds off Sugita. And then in came Conestabro to make it a 2-on-1. The referee says a little bit too much. Free kick victory.
It's going a little bit quiet now, and some of the supporters thinking about getting in their cars early to get in the car park. But Melbourne Victory, there's still a little bit of work to be done. And it's good to see Spirit not giving up and still fighting for those lost causes and those 50-50 balls.
They might be away here. Kavanagh just got the ball glued to his feet at the wrong time, and then trying to make up for it, went bowling through Ryan Teague. Free kick given.
Teague's had a great game, hasn't he? Opened the scoring, but just his general role in there. He knows what he's doing. He's calm, he's collected, he's keeping possession well, rides tackles well.
Hoey again. They've really fed the ball to the youngster since he's come on, and now Piscopo squares it, can't find a teammate. They were lined up at about the penalty spot as opposed to the edge of the 6-yard box where the pass ended up going. So the clearance away to safety into the last 10 minutes of regulation here at Christie Park. Area pops it over the top. Hoey off and running yet again, and he will get to the ball before the line. This time he's dispossessed though. Darko back in defence, tracked him every step of the way and took the ball off him.
That's great to see Darko getting back there, and he's definitely changed positions, isn't he? He's playing on the left-hand side now and not playing up top. He's done a lot of work tonight, as have a lot of the Spirit guys.
And they're having to match Victory here, who are just trying to use their perhaps fitness advantage to try and overcome the match hardness of the Spirit. The real burning question is, Victory, they know they're going through to the quarterfinal. Is it going to be at home against Perth Glory, or are they going to be off to Queensland to face Moreton Bay? We've got a player down here. It is Richie Darko. We just saw him struggling with cramp a little bit earlier. Is this his final bow in the game? The trainer's out there helping him already.
Well, he's been absolutely everywhere, and he's getting the Powerades in. You can see there the sports drinks getting poured down the throat. He doesn't want to come off, that's for sure. And I'm sure for NWS Spirit, they want to finish this season with a bang.
Well, let's head to Perry Park because it looks like we have a cup set on our hands.
Chance still on for Moreton City. The cross, and the header is on target. And Moreton City take the lead. Joe Scott, the substitute.
The super sub getting in on the action. Moreton City Excelsior in the lead.
Semi-regular starter in the team. More so in the first half of the season than the second. So Roderick Miranda is one of the players making way, and Ryan Teague also coming off too. And look at the congratulations from Patrick Kisnorbo there. Very expressive, saying thank you to his starters. They're going to see Michael Conostarbo come off too. So that is Noah Peacock, the son of television presenter Adam Peacock, who football fans in this country will know all too well. His son, one of his children, I believe the oldest of his children, now a regular senior player for Spirit, scored actually quite a few goals in qualifying for the Australia Cup through the New South Wales round. So great to see him on this national stage, getting to test himself against the Melbourne Victory. And he came on for Richie Darko, who did indeed have nothing left in the legs. The other sub that came on is right here on the ball now, James Dyer, who replaced Michael Conostarbo.
Yeah, he's quite a tall lad as well, is Peacock. Towers over his old man, that's for sure. I was speaking with Adam just earlier before the game started, and it's great to see him break into this Spirit side, and you never know where that can lead you. And you know, we talk about players playing in the Australia Cup and getting noticed, and you've got to do something magical to get the attention of the A-League clubs. But isn't it great that the young players get to go toe-to-toe in a real professional encounter against a team like Melbourne Victory?
Well, he's got an eye for goal. He scored a double against Dulwich Hill, and then he scored against Sydney Olympic in the qualifying rounds of the Cup. So if Spirit come away with a goal, who knows? It might be Noah Peacock that provides it. But they're running out of time to do so. We're into the last 5 minutes.
There has been some late drama at the home of the Matildas. A penalty awarded to Heidelberg United.
To have there and pick out his player. I thought the play that had gone there with the Sean Penn touch.
He could stand and deliver again against Nick Feely. It's Sean Ellis, the Super Scotsman, delivers another magic moment for Heidelberg United. We're all square.
Great Scott for Sean Ellis. Could be going to extra time.
Flank. The edge of the box, Fornaroli loses handle on the ball. Yeah, just on Josh Rawlins, he was captain of the Australia under-20s team, and he was sensational in their most recent under-20 Asian Cup. So he's played really well for his country, and we've seen him play excellently for Perth Glory, and so he's just one of those players that, I mean, he wouldn't want to be a bench option for Victory. He'd want to be their starting right back. So that's going to create a level of competition in this Victory team for the upcoming season.
It's a no-brainer in the squad, isn't it? You want to have players that are hungry to play and fight for places, and I guess that's what the coach is looking for. He is building a squad to be competitive, and let's not forget, this team lost the grand final last year. They want to go one step further. And how do you achieve that? Do you, like you said, throw everything out with the bathwater and start again? You can't. You've got to try and build what you've got already and just fine-tune a few things, but it comes down to mentality as well.
Chidiac just got the better of Boss. However, Boss is goal side and now closing down the space. Great defensive challenge. Really risky pass back into his own penalty area, but Monge was composed. Valupale plays it central. And Victory might be away here. Piscopo has space to dictate, and runners breaking ahead of the ball. Really nice pass. Valupale's on a hat-trick, but he's foiled by the assistant referee's flag.
Just slow down on the surface there. And that's all it takes, that little split second. And Valupale couldn't angle his run to the left a little bit more. It was a good line from Spirit. They had to keep running back.
Now Michelle at the other end for Spirit. They haven't given up on leaving with a goal. course, these scores remain in the history books. They wanted to say 4-1 rather than 4-0, but they won't get the chance here. Down to the last 2 minutes of action. And they do have a throw-in. Ball out to the left. Dyer, one of the most recent subs for the Spirit, showing us what he can do. Great little sidestep, but then can't find Peacock with the slide ball in from the left. Fornaroli, not much by way of support. He just bides his time and waits for the runners to press up. Valupale trying to turn provider, and he couldn't quite slide it in time for Monge.
Good little passage of play and good goalkeeping. Good awareness from Marks to come out there and tread that line on the edge of his box. He had to be aware and he had to be sharp to get out to it right on the edge of the box. It's good goalkeeping.
And so this will be the end of NPL New South Wales's participation in the Australia Cup this year, and the only two New South Wales teams left in the tournament stay with victory here, as Marks is going to watch his defence scramble it away in Williams. The only two Sydney-based teams left, MacArthur and Wanderers, are both going to be away in the quarterfinals. So unless they can win on the road, this might be the last cup tie in New South Wales for 2024. Make the most of these last couple of minutes as we tick into stoppage time here at Christie Park.
Well, I can tell you there was a lot of interest here tonight. Ufuk Tale was walking around the stadium as well to try and get a glimpse of, I guess, Melbourne Victory and to see what they're all about this season as well. So lots of things to think about.
We know that recently appointed Socceroos assistant coach Luke Wilkshire is here, as is National Under-17s coach Brad Maloney. So plenty of discerning eyes amongst the punters. We've ticked into 3 additional minutes of stoppage time to finish this one. And again, Victory turning up the heat, looking for a 5th to round out their night. Hoey. Monge misses his mark with the pass. Cornwell. Peacock leans into the header, but the ball is cleared away. Valadon over the top. Valupale, he's still hunting that 3rd goal. Can he round out his hat-trick here? Nishan Valupale, and he went for the outside of the boot. Not really a pass or a shot in the end.
Thought it was offside. Valupale just getting away there on that left-hand side. Good to see him keeping that energy up in the 91st minute. And the same with Valadon. Hasn't he had a good game tonight? We talk about all the stars pulling the strings going through the middle, but Valadon, even Ryan Teague in the midfield, they've been really good at recycling possession and winning that ball back when they've needed to.
Oh, Monge has fallen over. Is this Spirit's chance? Kavanagh with the shot! It goes just over the bar, and that was nearly a spectacular end to the night.
Corey Kavanagh almost got that goal for Spirit over the top of the keeper. And has it taken a touch? No, it hasn't. From here, it looked as though it was odds on to go over the top of Duncan, and he did not know where that ball was going to sit down. It's very unfortunate.
That would have been a really nice way for Spirit to finish not just the night but their season, and the sort of thing that would have Corey Kavanagh, I imagine, first player to turn up at pre-season training ready to go. What a spectacular end it would have been. They're still not done yet, the Spirit. They're hunting a goal. Can they leave with something here? Chianchi heard the shot from Chiniak, and he twists across in at the near post, which is cleared. Shouts of handball, perhaps more hopeful than expected, and Valadon brought the ball under his control back at his feet. We're into the last minute of 3. Monge. Fornaroli protected the ball well. Is there one last hurrah for the victory here? Fornaroli wants to make sure there is. Just pushed it into a gap between his teammates. Oh, given away. And Fornaroli He's frustrated with Monge there. You can tell that even in the very last minute of stoppage time, he wants a goal. And the Spirit don't want this game to end. All their young subs are really enjoying the chance to get out there and play at the end of the night. The referee's whistle is looming. And there it is. Melbourne Victory are heading to the quarterfinals of the Australia Cup. And Northwest Sydney Spirit, they get the handshakes and congratulations at full time. They couldn't leave with a goal. But they did work right to the end against a Victory team that we are expecting big things from, not just in this competition, but in the A-League season as well. Nishan Valupale has 4 goals on the national stage, a double in both the round of 32 and the round of 16. And after Ryan Teague got things going, and a goal for Nicholas Vergos as well, Melbourne Victory stride through to the next round. NWS Spirit 0, Melbourne Victory 4.
Well, Melbourne Victory are into the quarterfinals. I haven't been there since 2021. And if you remember what happened in 2021, it's when they lifted the Australia Cup. A great performance from them tonight at Christie Park. Some tough conditions for the home side, but you could see the class. They were out-muscled by the visitors. Just too good on the park across the entirety of the 90 or plus minute, gents.
Absolutely, I thought Victory, yeah, they outclassed them. Could have had a couple more. In fairness to Spirit, in the second half, they came out and gave a better account of themselves and were definitely more attack-minded, but yeah, comfortable for Victory.
Some beautiful goals in the mix as well, Macca, and a chance to see a couple of their new faces and where they might perhaps gel into this Melbourne Victory side come the A-League men's season.
Well, Tristan McManus said it at the start of before the match that they have an abundance of attacking options. Nishan Valupale is really starting to come into his own. He's been, just increasing his output year on year, and he looks like he's really going to take the mantle this year to lead that attack. Obviously, you've got Daniel Arzani, the new striker in Vergos, that adds some competition for Bruno, which is a big one, really, actually. So it would be interesting to see how that pans out, if Bruno will be happy to be on that position.
Well, let's get some reaction now to our man who's on the ground there, Tristan McManus. Tristan.
Thanks, Tara. Yeah, I'm here at Ryan Teague. Ryan, you got the goal scored started tonight. Enough was made about the conditions. How difficult was it out there?
Yeah, look, obviously it was a new ground for us to play on as well. Good crowd here and a bit windy, but, both teams played in the same conditions and it was a good battle and fair play to Spirit, and, we move forward to next week now.
Yeah, 4-1 in the last round, 4-0 here, clean sheet, no injuries by the looks of things. Was it the perfect night in the end?
Yeah, look, there was a lot of positives tonight. There's obviously little details that we've got to work on, probably a few too many chances they had tonight, and, these are little details that moving forward, if we want to get better, we have to zone in on them.
Now, the last time you made it this far, you went on and won it. It's going to be an awful lot hotter in Queensland in the next round, the quarterfinals for you, right?
Yeah, look, as I said before, both teams playing the same conditions, so it's no excuse for us. So we'll go out there, play our style of football and win.
And in terms of, I was talking before the game, how exciting your attack line is. Nishan Valupale, for me, is on a different level already this season, and he could really have his breakout season.
Yeah, look, he's what a player he is. He's started this cup well. He'll take that into the season, and I'm sure he's going to keep on going.
Good on. Huge congratulations today.
Thank you.
Superb. Good on you. Guys, I'm also here with Jared Lum. Jared, disappointing result in the end, but you must be very proud of the team.
Yeah, definitely. We put out a good shift in front of a big crowd that doesn't usually come at Christie Park, so I'd ask them to come a bit more often. But no, it was good to have an A-League club down here at Christie Park. It's good.
It says a lot about the support that you guys had and how much excitement that you built up over time. I suppose you knew it was going to be difficult tonight. Was it harder than you thought? How did you feel the gulf out there while you were playing?
To be fair, 4-0 says a lot, but to be fair, it's just they're a bit more clinical than the teams in the NPL. We didn't play bad, we didn't play poorly. We just gave them a couple of chances, and the difference is that they're a bit more clinical, ruthless. So they put away their chances, and here's what it is.
And in terms of yourself now, we've heard a few announcements this week. Roy, of course, retired. Danny McBreen's got rid of the long hair as well. Yourself, what's going forward for Jared Lum?
Yeah, look, I've done things that I never thought I would do. Football's given me everything. So now is the time to hang it up, I guess. And a nice night to do it in front of my family, who have supported me my entire life. I don't have that much words to say, but no, it's been a pleasure, and I'll be forever grateful to football. So yeah.
Fantastic. Well, you're going out a history maker. Well done. Congratulations on your whole career.
Thank you.
Love you. All right.
A great night there for Jared Lum, who hangs up the football boots. None of that was happening, though, from Brian Teague, who we saw him last season was such an important part and a fulcrum of Melbourne victory. It was a beautifully constructed goal, Roy.
Beautiful goal, beautiful strike. As you said, he had a great season last year. He's a real pivot man for victory in that midfield. But yeah, this is the second goal here of Velupale. All class, the way he rolls that ball onto his left foot. We saw in the previous round against Lambton Jaffas, he looks like he's in the mood, and yeah, he's going to have a big season.
The timing of that goal was important as well, just before half-time. At 1-0, Spirit FC might think that, you know, at half-time we can, you know, one goal's it's achievable. When they get that second goal, it knocks the wind out of them a bit. But this was class, wasn't it? Right through from Daniel Arzani, through Mishash, out to Velupale, and then a lovely ball across the goal for Vergas to get his first goal for the club. He worked hard, was in good positions, and this was just great free-flowing football that we are accustomed to see from Melbourne Victory over the course of their career as a club. But it was cruise mode second half, let's be honest, and Nishan Velupale, I think we can expect big things from him this year.
Yeah, I think that we said that about Nishan Velupale last season as well.
We did. We've said it a couple of years, but I think that he
don't want to fluff.
I think
just really pile the pressure onto him too much. But I know what you mean. But especially, you know, against NWS Spirit, they finished 10th across the season. You know, they took some good scalps in defeating Sydney Olympic and Sydney United during the cup and on their cup run. But you could see the class. I know. You looked at the eyebrows and you said, that was my team.
Yeah.
Thanks for having a dig at me. And I retired as well, Tara. But please don't retire from the couch. Don't retire from the couch.
Yeah.
There is still action, of course, going on in the Cup. We've gone into extra time, a huge clash, of course, in Victoria at the home of Matildas. Late drama. In this one, Oakley Cannons v Heidelberg United, a late penalty. The great Scot, Sean Ellis, who converted it. So it's 1-1 at the moment. That's gone over to extra time. So you've got all of the action there as well. But we've seen so much incredible Cup